Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Wir lesen auf Englisch oder Deutsch heute? Deutsch, ne? Ja. Spricht ihr Deutsch? Deutsch? So Deutsch? Okay, zuerst Prabhupada Transcendental Diary auf Englisch. The sannyasis and devotees from Madras had all traveled ahead on the road. Erinnert jemand, was haben wir gestern gelesen? Über welches Thema? Prabhupada Transcendental Diary?
Qualifikation des Gurus?
Nee.
Die Barmherzigkeit des Gurus?
Nee.
Ganz zum Schluss?
Nee. Prabhupada war in dem Zug und dann diese Leute, ein paar Inder möchten reingehen und dann sie haben Segnungen gefragt. Und Prabhupada hat sich segnen kann. Und Prabhupada sagte, ja, aber was für eine Segnung? Und die haben nur, was für eine Segnung ist das? Weil die haben normalerweise Sadhu gesegnet, aber gibt es keine Erläuterung, was für eine Segnung ist das. Und dann ein Mann hat nicht gewusst, was soll ich sagen, und dann er sagte, oh mein Knie, es tut weh, kannst du mir mein Knie reparieren mit der Segnung? Und Prabhupada hat gelacht. Prabhupada sagte, na, guck mal diese Leute hier, Devotees mit den rasierten Haaren und Tilak und so, das ist meine Segnung. Wollt ihr diese Segnung? Und so, nein, Swamiji, wir haben keine Zeit, wir sind beschäftigt. Und so, das haben wir gestern gelesen. So, heute. The sannyasis and devotees from Madras. Danke dir. Had traveled ahead on the road. Together with a very large and eager group of local residents, they gave Prabhupada a tumultuous welcome. The devotees have been preaching in Nellore for several weeks, making life members and preparing for Srila Prabhupada's visit. Thus many people were anxiously awaiting his arrival. Prabhupada got down from the carriage first, followed by Tamal Krishna and Harikesh. A huge crowd on the platform promptly followed them up. When I finally struggled out of the carriage carrying 2 suitcases, a shoulder bag and a bag with a tiffin and cooker, I was amazed to see through a jam of sweating bodies Srila Prabhupada just about to disappear under a huge wreath of marigolds. He was patiently standing, hands held together in traditional pranam, while 50 or 60 people lined up to place garlands around his neck. 50 Leute, 60 Leute haben von Prabhupada ein Gelande vorbereitet. Ich glaube, es gibt das Video, das haben Gelande nach Gelande, nach Gelande, nach Gelande. Prabhupada sagt, eine rein, zweite raus. Oh, Gelande kommt, ja. Srila Prabhupada Kija. Hoffentlich, das ist die Übrigen von Prabhupads 50 Gelanden. Srila Prabhupada Kija. The devotees, Prabhupada got down. When I finally struggled, okay, he also saw this. He was patiently, Prabhupada, standing, hands together, in traditional pranam, while 50 or 60 people lined up to place garland around his neck. I dropped the cases and barged through. By the time I reached him, the flowers were just beginning to rise above the top of his ears. So Giland is so hoch here. Harikesh and Tamal Krishna Maharaj stood immobilized to the side, looking somewhat overwhelmed by the whole affair. Stopping the chain of presentation for a moment, I removed all the garlands but two. Harisori had alle Giland weg, außer zwei. They were so heavy that I had difficulty lifting them. But Srila Prabhupada had stood very patiently to allow everyone to come forward. Prabhupada was visibly relieved when I removed the garlands. Then, as the rest of the crowd moved up one at a time and offered their garlands, I immediately removed them, never allowing more than 2 or 3 to accumulate at once. So Harisori had the Girlanda management. When everyone has made their offering, Prabhupada walked out the waiting car, followed by chanting devotees and mobbed by the enthusiastic residents of Nellore. Harikesh came up to me and demanded to know where the suitcases were. Harikesh hat gefragt, Harisori, wo die Prabhupads Gepäckstücke sind. Und Harisori hat gesagt, oh nein, ich habe das vergessen auf dem Gleis, auf dem Bahnhof. Er hat vergessen. I've forgotten all about them in my rush to aid Srila Prabhupada, and I earned another acerbic rebuke from Harikesh for my foolishness. Fortunately, when the crowd cleared, the suitcase was still where I left them. Zum Glück. In Indien, ja. Hast du das gesagt? Harisori hat vergessen Prabhupads Gepäcke. Auf dem Gleis, am Bahnhof.
Da war voll mit Leuten, alles voll mit Leuten. Der Bahnsteig war zu mit Leuten.
Und zum Glück alles, die Gepäckstücke war dort. Fortunately, Harikesh did admit, however, that I had acted correctly and properly where he had failed regarding Prabhupada's personal situation. Prabhupada was extremely pleased by the whole reception. However, the arrival at our lodgings was a different story. Turning off into a side of road next to Tirupati Tirumali Devasthanam Kalyana Mandapam, on the southern outskirts just of National Highway 5, we came to the main gates of the enclosed estate. It is owned by our hosts, 2 sisters, Sujatama Rebala and Subhaprada Katamanchi. Das ist südindische Name. Premala. Premala oder Peramala? Rebala. Prabhupada had been invited to stay with them for the next 5 days. The estate is divided into 2 sections of 7 and 2 acres, all surrounded by 10-foot high wall. The sisters are donating both parcels of land to ISKCON. We plan to construct a temple on the smaller plot, and it is to inaugurate this work that Srila Prabhupada has come. Srila Prabhupada is going to install the foundation stone tomorrow. So, habt ihr verstanden, dass es Prabhupada hat, diese 2 Schwestern, die möchten das Land für den Tempel geben, spenden. So, Prabhupada ist dort gegangen, weil Devotees möchte diese Cornerstone, wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Cornerstone. Cornerstone, wenn erste Stein.
Also Grundstein.
Grundstein legen. Prabhupada ist für die Grundsteinlegung Zeremonie gekommen. So, wo sind wir? The 2-acre plot is completely undeveloped and rather barren, except for a small house at the back where Achyutananda Yashodananda Swami's party is staying. The 7-acre plot has a large bungalow for its main residence, separate servants' quarters, a couple of small outhouses, and partially cultivated gardens with some flowers, palm trees, and vegetable patches. The large acreage will be donated on the demise of the sisters. Okay. Es gibt auch ein größeres Stück, aber das ist, wenn die Schwester sterben und danach ISKCON kann das Land nehmen, dieses große Stück. Getting out of the car at the main gate, Prabhupada was met by the sisters. Together we all walked the short distance down the drive to the main house. The driveway ended in a small circle because of the plan. As he sat on the veranda and I began to apply the oil on Prabhupada's head, massage, we heard the familiar clicky noise across the pathway. What is that? I looked through the grille window and saw a hen coop. It is chicken, Prabhupada. There's a Hühner, wie sagen wir was? There's a Kuhstall für die Kühe. Was ist für die Hühner?
Hühnerstall.
Hühnerstall auch.
Hühnerstall.
Oh, Hühnerstall. So, there's a Hühnerstall auf dem Land. Und Prabhupada said, was ist das? It is chicken, Srila Prabhupada. Oh, that means, well, it means that at least they're eating eggs, I said, trying to be optimistic. Harisori war ein bisschen zynisch und sagte, Prabhupada, wahrscheinlich die essen nur Eier, nicht Hühner. Das ist, Harisori sagte, ich versuche optimistisch zu sein. Call Harikesh. Harikesh came in. Srila Prabhupada, they are meat eaters. Oh, Prabhupada says, then you must cook separately. You cannot cook in their kitchen. Do not use any of their pots and utensils. Prabhupada sagte, okay, wenn die essen Fleisch, benutzt keine Töpfe, nichts von ihnen. Koch in unsere eigenen Töpfe. Srila Prabhupada, something is wrong here. These people are crazy, Harikesh said. Prabhupada geantwortet, they are crazy or you are crazy? Being extremely intelligent, Harikesh's reactions tend to be overly intense. On such occasion, Prabhupada helped him properly channel his mental energy. Harikesh is completely dedicated to follow Srila Prabhupada's guidance, and a few quick words usually sufficient to correct him. Well, crazy I may be, Harikesh said, but there is definitely something strange going on. It's almost as if these people don't want us here. They invited us, but they're almost unfriendly toward us. Harikesh hat gesagt, dass manchmal Harikesh ist ein bisschen zu, wie sagen wir, Temperament. Er macht, aber Prabhupada, in Prabhupada Worte, macht alles, wie sagen wir, er kühlt die Situation runter, weil Harikesh könnte ein bisschen feuerlich sein. Also, these people are crazy, diese Leute sind verrückt. Und Prabhupada sagt, sind sie verrückt oder bist du verrückt? Und, aber Harikesh hier erzählt weiter, dass wir sind nicht willkommen hier. Wir sind eingeladen, aber es sieht, wir sind nicht willkommen hier. Was passiert jetzt? Prabhupada accepted his observation. Our reception by the sister had been decidedly muted in contrast to the enthusiasm at the railway station. But he said, we are their guests, he said, so we should deal with them politely. They may not be yet familiar with Krishna consciousness, but they are offering the land for the temple, and things should improve when they engage in the service of Krishna. In a discussion this afternoon, the subject came up again, for we all noticed the oddly cool attitude of our hosts, as if we were completely necessary inconvenience. So, Devotees haben nochmal bemerkt, während Tag, dass die Schwestern sind nicht freundlich. Devotees haben gewundert, was machen wir hier? Weil die Schwester möchte das Land als Spende geben, Tempel zu bauen. Prabhupada asked Mahamsa for the deed of the gift of the land. Bedeutet diese Deed, wie heißt das, dieses legale, dieses Dokument, das ist für die Übergabe, für das Land Übergabe. Aber das Dokument war nicht da. Mahamsa thought it was the Gopal Krishna thought Mahamsa had it. Prabhupada was a little annoyed at their incompetence. He instructed them to bring the deed as soon as possible so he could check it. Apart from this, Srila Prabhupada maintained his usual mood and schedule. Tamal Krishna had brought some mail from America with him. He had read out when he first arrived, but still needed replying. Prabhupada was enlightened to hear a letter Rameshwara wrote 2 weeks before the Christmas marathon. Open for book distribution, that our lawyers were working on opening several more, thus giving great facility for increasing book sales. He also had a question about the system of book distribution. Prabhupada recently approved for the Radha Damodar party by which devotees could hand out big books for nominal sums provided they covered the costs of their donations. Rameshwara wanted to know if the temples could also adopt this method. For previously, big books had only been the people who donated at least $3 or $4. The Radha Damodar traveling Sankirtan party ordered 50,000 books for December alone. And Rameshwara thought the distribution would increase tremendously if the temple could adopt this system. What kind of system is this? System book distribution. Hand out big books for nominal sums provided they cover the costs from their donations. Nominal costs. I know the BBT price. Oh, okay. Die möchte, dass während Marathon Devotees verteilen Bücher für den BBT-Preis. Nicht für Profit, aber nur für BBT. Nur während Marathon. Die möchte mehr Bücher raus. Und Prabhupada gefragt, ob das okay ist. Finally, he described the enthusiasm for book distribution sweeping the American temples. This is a brief from Rameshwara. This month there is a terrific competition between Tamal Krishna Goswami and Jayatirtha Prabhu to be outstanding zones for the month. Here in New Dwaraka, we are breaking all records out distributing everyone in BTG distribution. Just in the past weekend, 2 days, we sold 30,000 BTGs in Los Angeles. In 2 Tagen 30,000 Back to Godhead Magazine. In 2 Tagen. Nur in Los Angeles.
Aber das ist die Gruppe von Radha Damodar.
Ja. Aber 30.000 Magazine. In 2 Tagen. Ja. Everyone in the BBT, including myself, is going on book distribution 2 days per week for the competition, and we are planning to sell 100,000 BTGs in LA. In 6 days, 6 Tage, der Plan ist 100,000 BTGs zu verteilen. Wow. In this way, book distribution is going on nicely in America. Now, warehouse is exhausted to ship so many books out to the Sankirtan parties day and night. Anyway, in Los Angeles, never before in history has been so many transcendental literatures being distributed in one city in so short period of time. Our goal for this month is to sell at least 200,000 BTGs, ein Monat, 200,000, und 12,000 große Bücher, big books, all in Los Angeles, nur in LA. 12,000 Bücher und 200,000 Magazine. By your divine blessings, we would like to be able to increase these figures even more and become absorbed in book distribution day and night without stopping. Everyone agrees that the distribution of books is the highest pleasure, and even the demigods may take birth here just to distribute your books. Even die Halbgötter werden Geburt nehmen in Los Angeles, Bücher zu verteilen. He said, I hope you are well and enjoying the book distribution results. I've never seen the devotees in America work so hard to please you, but they're book selling. Srila Prabhupada was enlivened to hear the enthusiastic report, especially since he already knew of the success of the marathon. In the past, he deliberately promoted the competition between temples, and he teased Tamal Krishna Maharaj as he dictated the reply to Rameshwara. Das ist Prabhupada hat geantwortet. Regarding the suggestion of book selling, the point is the temple must pay for the cost of printing. Then they may sell for whatever price they like. Das ist der Punkt, Prabhupada möchte. Das BBT muss bezahlen werden und dein Preis ist dein Ding. Was willst du, für was willst du verkaufen? Das ist der Tempel. Jeder Tempel muss für sich selbst entscheiden. The transcendental competition is nice. If Jayatirtha Prabhu defeats Tamal Krishna Maharaj, then Tamal will have heart failure. Prabhupada sagte, das ist wie sagt man Competition? Wettbewerb? Wettstreit. Ja. Zwischen Jayatirtha und Tamal Krishna. Und wenn Tamal Krishna verliert, er wird ein wie soll man? Herzinfarkt haben.
Es gibt diese Fotos,
Ja.
Da hat das mal Prabhupada gesagt.
Ja.
Diesen-
Madhya Tirtha. Go on selling books. My Guru Maharaj was very much anxious about selling books and preaching. You are pleasing him by the bombastic flood of books all over the world. Thank you. He also... Ich interessiert mich, was passiert mit dieser Schwester jetzt. Ha? Lass mich gucken, ja. Gibt's was mit der Schwester? Nein, das ist nur die... Nein, nichts mit Schwester. Nicht mit Schwester zu tun. Okay, ich glaube, das reicht. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Und seine Verteilung die
Jai. So, wir gehen weiter. Caritamrita. Kann ich deutsche Caritamrita?
Ist nicht da, die da bringt.
Ah, ist nicht da.
Ich bringe mein eigenes. Wir haben eins.
Okay, dann ich lese auf Englisch. Ja? Ich lese auf Englisch dann. Das ist Madhya Lila, Chapter 2, Text 51. Ei prema svadana tipta ikshu charvana mukachvalena yayata jana sei prema yandramane tara vikrama sei jane vishamrite ketramilana. I don't know if you're from Bengal, Bangladesh sounds a little bit different, huh? Ei prem oshodon. How do you read?
Ei prema shadan.
Ashadan. Ashadan. Tata ikyu charvana.
Madhya.
It's okay, it's a rule. Lass das in Ruhe. Ja,
Okay, ganz groß machen.
mach's aus, weil das ist nur Störung. So, translation. If one tastes such love of Godhead, he can compare it to the hot sugar cane. When one chews hot sugar cane, his mouth burns, yet he cannot give it up. Similarly, if one has built a little love of Godhead, he can perceive its powerful effects. It can only be compared to poison and nectar mixed together. Das ist ein bisschen esoterisch hier, aber das ist, was wir lesen. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke, My dear beautiful friend, if one develops love of Godhead, love of Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, all the bitter and sweet influences of this love will manifest in one's heart. Such love of Godhead acts in two ways. The poisonous effect of love of Godhead defeats the severe fresh poison of the serpent. Yet there is simultaneously transcendental bliss which pours down and defeats the pride of nectar and diminishes its value. In other words, love of Krishna is so powerful that it simultaneously defeats the poison effects of snake as well as the happiness derived from pouring nectar on one's head. It is perceived as doubly effective, simultaneously poisonous and nectarian. Purport. This verse is spoken by Purnamasi to Nandimukhi in the Vidagda Madhava of Srila Rupa Goswami. This is a little bit esoteric here, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains what is love of God, this separation. Because we know there's 5 different rasas, and each rasa have certain emotion. When somebody is servant of Krishna, they have emotions of feeling pleased the service is done, and they get mercy. Like when we clean the bhakta, clean the floor, and he feels very ecstatic, like somehow the job is accomplished. And Krishna is pleased and he feels very ecstatic about it. So this is one emotion. When somebody is Krishna's friend, that this person also has another emotion. And when somebody is Krishna's lover, as the gopis, they have yet another emotion. And this emotion, the highest emotion is called vipralamba, or separation, or viraha bhava. And this separation is very, you can say, strange emotion. Because devotees are separated from Krishna, they are not in proximity with Krishna, and they feel great pain that Krishna is not there. And here they described that the devotees feel pain just like bitten by a serpent. This is a big pain because they want to see Krishna, but Krishna is not there. And at the same time, they just not only feel pain, but they actually feel great ecstasy, like extreme ecstasy. So it's a mixture, as they described here, effects of a poisonous effect of a snake as well as happiness derived from the puri nectar one's had. Like not just little nectar, but puri nectar. So this is a very interesting combination. Because in the book called Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it is described when Gopakumar finally reached Goloka Vrindavan. He was going to different heavenly planets to the higher planets to Vaikuntha planet, and at the end he reached the Goloka Vrindavan. And when he arrived there, he was shocked. He said there was a house of pain. Everybody was like depressed, and he said there was a complete devastation. And he thought, "Is this the highest?" He was surprised. How is this possible? Because in Vaikuntha everything was so ecstatic, and Vishnu arrives, and all the devotees have darshan of Vishnu, Ram also. But here in Goloka Vrindavan is supposed to be the highest, and what is this? But of course, and this is the reason. The reason is that this separation from Krishna is actually the highest of all. So, as we read 4 days ago, Prabhupada says, you ask me such a question, but if you want to know, you have to go to Goloka Vrindavan and find out yourself. How does that exactly look? Separation from Krishna is so much painful, but at the same time it's very ecstatic. This is the very something we have to learn when we achieve perfection in our spiritual life. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would see Jagannath along with Balaram and Subhadra, he would immediately think that he has reached Kurukshetra, where all of them had come. He would think that his life was successful because he had seen the lotus-eyed one, whom, if seen, perfects the body, mind, and eyes. Staying near the Garuda Stamba, the Lord would look upon Lord Jagannath. What can be said about the strength of that love? On the ground beneath the column of the Garuda Stamba was a deep ditch, and that ditch was filled with the water of his tears. Purport. In front of the temple of Jagannath is a column in which the statue of Garuda is situated. It is called Garuda Stamba. Behind that column is a ditch, and that ditch was filled with tears of the Lord. One of the reasons why Lord Chaitanya was always standing in this Garuda Stamba, because when we go to the deities, we want to go in front to see the deities. But Lord Chaitanya was standing behind. There was this Garuda, there's a column, and Garuda is standing offering obeisance to Jagannath. And Lord Chaitanya would never go close. Huh? Yes. The reason is that he's so attached to Jagannath that if he would come close, he would run to jump onto Jagannath. And he did this before, when the first time Lord Chaitanya came to Puri, and he saw Lord Jagannath, he couldn't contain himself, and he ran, and then he fainted, and the chowkidars wanted to beat him with the sticks. Who is this crazy person who wants to run into Jagannath? Because sometimes you have crazy people who want to come on the altar. I had once in America, one person wanted to. I was outside, there was a hot day, I was outside, and I came back to the temple room, and he was sitting on the altar. One man, black man from the street, he was sitting on the altar, on the stairs next to Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta. And I said, excuse me, what are you doing? Oh, this is a very nice place here. It's very cool, this is so nice. I really like this place. I said, we also like it because this is actually God's throne. Oh, ja, hat nicht gewusst, also nicht vergehen, aber das ist lustig. He thought, wow, this is, it's very cool here, marble, and it's nice, and deities are nice, and hat gemocht. So people, sometimes crazy, people don't know, they rush to sit on the altar, so therefore there's guards who don't allow this. So Lord Chaitanya was so attached to Jagannath, he would always hold this Garuda Stamba, and he would just look at Jagannath, and he would cry constantly. And from these tears, the little hole was filled up. I don't know, I have not been to the temple. Many mother, have you been to Jagannath temple? No. You might know. We are not allowed, so white people are not allowed. And I don't know how big is this hole from Garuda Stamba where Lord Chaitanya was crying.
Probably, but I don't know about Jagannath Puri, but most of the South Indian Vishnu temples, if you observe, when Vishnu is in the main center, and opposite to that, Garuda is always.
Yes?
Yes.
The same thing. Same thing. But this is only in South India. When coming from Jagannath temple to return to his house, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit on the ground and mark it with his nails. At such times he would be greatly morose and would cry, "Alas, where is Vrindavan? Where is Krishna, the son of king of the cowherd men? Gopendra Nandana, Gopa Indra, king of the Gopas. Where is that person who plays the flute? Kaha say Vamshivadan." How do you say it? They say Kahan say Vamshivadan. Kahan. Where is it? This is how you say Kahan say Vamshivadan. This is an expert here, Bengali. Kahan say Tribanga Thama. Where is Krishna, whose form is curved in three places, Tribanga? Kahan say Venugana. Where is the sweet song of his flute? And Kahan say Yamuna Pulina. Where is the Yamuna? Where is the Rasa dance? Kahan say Rasa Vilas. Or do you say Rasha Vilas? Rasha Vilas. Where is the dancing, singing and laughing? Where is my Lord Madan Mohan, the enchanter of Cupid? Kahan Prabhu Madan Mohan. In this way, various ecstatic emotions evolved, and the Lord's mind filled with anxiety. He could not escape even a moment. In this way, because of fierce feeling of separation, his patience began to totter, and he began to recite various prayers. This is the prayer now. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Friend of the helpless, you are the only ocean of mercy. Because I have not met you, my inauspicious days and nights have become unbearable. I do not know how shall I pass the time. All these inauspicious days and nights are not passing, for I have not met you. It is difficult to know how to pass all this time. But you are the friend of the helpless and the ocean of mercy. Kindly give me your audience, for I am in a very difficult position. So this is the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was always looking for Krishna. How can I sleep? What do I supposed to do? There's nothing to do if the Krishna is not present. Imagine this position. You go to sleep and you say, how can I sleep? There's no Krishna here. The Lord Chaitanya was always awake. And Lord Chaitanya would stay in this room in Jagannath Puri called Gambira room. And this is a very small room. Have you seen the Gambira room? Gambira room is like, for these two wide up to maybe here. Maybe to the end. It was not maybe one and a half meters wide, and maybe 2.5 meters long. That's it. This is where Lord Chaitanya stayed, in this room. And then he would be all night. He would wonder where is Krishna, and so the devotees locked him there because they're afraid that in his ecstasy he would leave. And his servant Govinda would lock the door, and he would sleep outside on the door, so that he cannot open. And one time, he woke up and he did not hear Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya would all night cry or call Krishna, and he did not hear him. And he would wonder, what happened? He opened the door, Lord Chaitanya was not there. And they start running, he alarmed all the devotees, and the devotees start running in the middle of the night. In the night at that time means no lights. Not like now, we have flash, handy lights. No lights, so they were running all over to find Lord Chaitanya. And then they saw one fisherman. And one fisherman came and he said, I have seen a ghost. But fishermen had ecstatic symptoms of love of Krishna. They immediately, the devotees, okay, so he met Lord Chaitanya. Somehow he met Lord Chaitanya. And they asked, where is the ghost? What is it? He said, I was fishing in the night. And then I caught a big fish in my net, huge fish. And I was very happy. I was lifting this fish and I thought it was a man. And so I touched it. And as soon as I touched this man, the ghost entered my body and I started crying, rolling on the ground. He didn't know what's happening. He said, this is a ghost, And Swarup Damodar Goswami said, don't worry, I'm a famous ghost, how to say, buster. I'm clearing the ghost. I'm a very famous person. And he slapped him in the face. He said, now you're free from ghost. And the man said, okay, thank you, left. So they rush to meet Lord Chaitanya. Where is Lord? Because they knew this is Lord Chaitanya. So they run, and Lord Chaitanya was laying in the beach, completely unconscious. And the devotee is dead, because he jumped into the ocean. So the devotees did not know what to do. So they start chanting very loudly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And they started chanting for some time, long time. The Lord Chaitanya came to his senses and he said, why are you waking him up? Why are you waking him up? I had such a nice dream of Rasa dance. I had such a nice dream of Radhakund. I was dancing in the waters and I was jumping to Yamuna river. What happened? Why are you disturbing my dreams? So Lord Chaitanya had a vision, or you can say he was there, and he saw Yamuna and he jumped into Yamuna, but actually it was the ocean in Puri. And he jumped there and he submerged into the water, and who knows what happened. So this was the story here. O Krishna, O flute player, O the sweetness of your early age is wonderful within these three worlds. You know my unsteadiness and I know yours. No one else know about this. I want to see your beautiful, attractive face somewhere in a solitary place. But how can this be accomplished? My dear Krishna, only you and I know the strength of your beautiful features, and because of them, my unsteadiness. Now this is my position. I do not know what to do, where to go. Where can I find you? I'm asking to give you direction, to give me directions. So we'll read one more verse. Because of various kinds of ecstasy, contradictory states of mind occurred, and this resulted in a great fight between different types of ecstasy. Anxiety, impotence, humility, anger, and impatience were all like soldiers fighting, and the madness of love of God was the cause. So this is the goal of our life, to become crazy, transcendentally crazy, madness, and this is very, very difficult to achieve, actually, interestingly enough. And this is the thing also we don't speak in public, because we don't say we should roll on the ground, and it sounds really strange. So, purport. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu it is stated that when similar ecstasies from separate causes meet, they are called Svarupa Sandhi. When opposing elements meet, whether they arise from a common cause or different causes, their conjunction is called Bhina Rupa Sandhi, the meeting of contradictory ecstasies. The simultaneous joining of different ecstasies, fear and happiness, regret and happiness, is called meeting Sandhi. This is technisch, the title. The word Shabalya refers to different types of ecstatic symptoms combined together, like pride, despondency, humility, remembrance, doubt, impatience caused by insult, fear, disappointment, patience, and eagerness. The friction that occurs when this combined is called Shabalya. Similarly, when the desire to see the object is very prominent, or when one is unable to tolerate any delay in seeing the desired object, the incapability is called autsukya, or eagerness. If such eagerness is present, one's mouth dries up and he becomes restless. He also becomes full of anxiety, and hard breathing and patience are observed. Similarly, the lightness of heart caused by strong attachment and strong agitation of the mind is called impotence, chapalya. Fear, failure of judgment, misuse of words, and obstinate activities devoid of anxiety observed. Similarly, when one becomes too angry at the other party, offensive and abominable speech occurs, and this angle is called rosha. It is also possible to be angry at Krishna, so angry that you lose your temper and you say some nonsense word. This is called rosha. When one becomes impatient due to being scolded or insulted, the result state of mind is called amarsha. In that state of mind, one perspires, acquires a headache, fades in bodily color, and expresses, so viele Verse here, anxiety and an urge to search out the remedy. The bearing of grudge, aversion, and chastisement is visible symptoms. So this is the finer aspects of our devotional service. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in his Sharanagati different songs. He has 8 steps how one achieves Krishna, how one surrenders to Krishna. And in the beginning, the first stage is just that we realize that something is wrong in this material world. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives these songs where he sings, my dear Lord, I wasted so much time in my life. I studied, I played as a child, then I studied, I get education, then I got married, then I have my family, and I got my job, and finally now in old age I think I should surrender to you. This is basically meaning that I realize I'm doing something wrong. So this is the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's first step of Sharanagati, of surrender to Krishna. At second step is that, okay, now I want to do something for Krishna. So on and so forth. And the last 8th step is this, that one becomes so absorbed in Krishna that that person doesn't consider anymore outside world. And we see in the life of our acharyas that most of them at the end of their lives, they're just absorbed in Krishna. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur was last 3 years of his life, he would just be, as they say, he exhibited the pastimes of sickness, Lila of sickness. He would pretend that he was sick, but he would just chant, and he would not speak to anybody, because why should he speak anymore? The material world is over. So of course, for the preachers, we don't do this. Srila Prabhupada, to the last moment, was preaching. For the last days, he did not sit in Vrindavan and exhibit any madness state. But Prabhupada says for the devotees, we preach until certain age, and after this we just retire and write and just completely dedicate ourselves to the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam. So I think it's okay for now. Fragen, Kommentaren? Moritz, Prabhu.
Wie kann sowas wie Ärger oder so, wie kann das ekstatisch sein? Also ich verstehe das nicht ganz.
Ja, das ist schwer zu verstehen. Weil jemand liebt jemand so viel und dann, dass dieser Ärger kommt. Es ist beschrieben in Bhagavatam und diese Brahmara Gita, das Lied von, was ist Brahmara? Ist nicht Biene, aber diese... Hummel, ja. Und Srimati Radharani spricht ein bisschen manchmal ärgerlich, manchmal lieblich, und das ist alles gemischt, diese Emotionen. Und diese Emotionen sind so stark, deswegen. Aber als Prabhupada hat gesagt, geh dort und dann du wirst alles sehen. Und deswegen wir reden über diese Themen nicht in Öffentlichkeit. Das ist nur, okay, jetzt wir lesen, aber im Allgemeinen, wir sprechen nicht über das Thema im Sonntagsfest.
Aber ist das nicht, wenn jetzt Bhakti zum Beispiel nur noch gechantet hat, ist das nicht eine Beschränkung eigentlich? Weil es so viele Möglichkeiten gibt, diese spirituelle Welt zu erfahren. Und wenn man jetzt nur noch chantet, dann ist man dann in gewisser Weise beschränkt? Oder
Warum denkst du, dass das eine Beschränkung ist?
Ich weiß nicht, frag dich.
Aber du hast mich gefragt und ich frage dich, warum denkst du, dass Chanten ist eine Beschränkung?
Weil es einfach natürlich ist für uns, auch Emotionen auszuleben, oder? Also wenn du jetzt dich nur noch absorbierst in der Meditation, dann kannst du ja diesen Emotionen...
Aber du mischst zwei verschiedene Dinge. Ein Ding ist materielle Körper. Mit materielle Körper, wir können nicht unsere Emotionen zum Krishna, wie sagen wir, teilen. Das ist materielle Körper. Bhaktivinoda chantet, das bedeutet, er hat seine spirituelle Körper aktiviert, sozusagen. So in dieser spirituelle Körper man wie sagen wir, aber dieser Austausch mit Krishna, nicht mehr materieller Körper. Dieser materielle Körper es heißt Sadhaka-Körper. Und das ist der andere Körper als spirituelle Siddha-Deha-Körper. Siddha-Deha bedeutet perfekte Körper. Und das ist nicht perfekt, das ist imperfekte Körper. So, in diesem Körper, wir dienen Krishna wie beste wie möglich, aber unsere echte Beziehung ist nicht mit diesem Körper. Dieser Körper ist zeitweilig. So, man kann nicht Krishna, du jetzt, oh Krishna, das ist sentimental. Manchmal Devotees, oh Krishna hat mich nicht erlaubt. Das ist sentimental. Das ist körperliche Niveau. Oder die Mataji, sie denken, oh, ich bin ein Dienerin. Ja, es ist ein schönes Sentiment, aber echte Diener ist eigentlich Diener auf die spirituelle Ebene. Das ist ein höheres Niveau. Manchmal sagen, ich weiß nicht. Das ist auch gut, aber das ist das Sadhaka-Körper, das muss nicht mischen. Das Sadhaka-Körper, wir machen diese Sadhana Bhakti. Chanten, regulierende Prinzipien folgen und so weiter. Und spiritueller Körper ist ein anderer Körper. Und manchmal Devotees, einmal ein Devotee hat Gonitai, das ist eine ziemlich große Gonitai, mit starkem Brass, wie sagt man Brass? Nicht Aluminium, Messing. Ziemlich kräftig, Gonitai, ein bisschen muskular. Und dann Devotee hat, ich weiß nicht, Dhoti vorbereitet und dann er hat raus, wie sagt man, mit dem Kopf haben die Nityanandas Ellbogen gestoßen. Oh, Nityananda, was machst du? Das ist auch lustig. Aber das ist nicht echte Ding. Natürlich, Nityananda könnte sich lachen wahrscheinlich. Aber das ist anderes. Zum Beispiel in Krishna-Buch, das ist geschrieben, Krishna hat am Morgen, Mutter Yashoda macht die Schuhe Krishna an und sein Freund wartet und Krishna nimmt seine Flöte und dann stoßt der Freund auf den Kopf. Und meine Mutter Yashoda, was machst du Krishna? Und Krishna, das ist lustig. So, das ist andere Dinge. Wir müssen nicht, deswegen, das ist der Unterschied zwischen Kanishta-Adhikari, Madhya-Adhikari und Uttama-Adhikari. Kanishta-Adhikari denkt, kein ist mehr vorgeschritten als ich. Das ist nicht möglich. Er kann nicht vorstellen, dass jemand könnte mehr vorgeschritten als ich bin. Das ist nicht möglich. Das ist nicht puffed up. Er kann nicht vorstellen, wie sieht es aus. Dass jemand vorgeschritten ist. Er denkt, ich bin auch vorgeschritten, er ist vorgeschritten. Das ist nicht das Gleiche. Das kann nicht Adhikari. Er denkt, er weiß alles, der hat alle Antworten. Und er denkt, ich bin sehr broad-minded. Wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Das ist schwer. Weitsichtig. Dass ich weiß, wie funktioniert alles. Das ist kein Adhikari. Und in diesem Sinne, wir denken, was ist möglich, wenn Bhakti ist beschränkt oder ich kann auch auf Krishna geärgert. Also das ist eigentlich keine Adhikari-Mentalität. Madhya-Adhikari natürlich, er kennt mehr, aber er weiß, Jai Shri Vijagaranga Devanita Ki Jai. Deswegen, wir sollten mehr Shastra lesen. Wir sollten Shastra kennen und Shastra verstehen und Shastra, Realization von Shastra haben. Das ist sehr, sehr wichtig. Und dann auf die höchste Ebene, dass man kann nicht über diese Ebene reden, weil das ist eine andere Ebene. Ja.
Ich glaube aber, seine Frage rührt von einem anderen Unverständnis her, weil du hast ja gefragt, wie kann man diese Emotionen entwickeln, wenn man nur chantet. Ja. Aber im Heiligen Namen ist da alles drin.
Genau.
Im Heiligen Namen ist alles. Da ist vollkommen. Da ist es nicht verschieden von Golok, nicht verschieden von Krishna. Da ist alles drin. Auch diese Emotionen. und dieser Austausch. Deswegen es ist
Genau,
eine
Heilige Name.
Frage, wie tief man chantet, wie weit man in die Verwirklichung des Heiligen Namens kommt.
Das habe ich, yes, genau, das habe ich gesagt. Dass abhängig von unserem wie sagt man, Fortschrittniveau, dann können wir das verstehen. Er nur chantet, was ist mit dem Chanten? Und ich chante auch, für mich ist okay. Deswegen, wir müssen verstehen, es gibt Leute, die sind mehr fortgeschritten als ich. Und dass die verstehen, der Heilige Name ist nicht unterschiedlich von Krishna. Wir haben gestern, das Srimad Bhagavatam ist nicht unterschiedlich von Krishna. Das ist schwer zu verstehen. Srimad Bhagavatam, wir lesen, Prabhupada hat gesagt, dass Srimad Bhagavatam sollte auf den goldenen Thron, wie sagt man Thron? Goldene Thron stehen, Bhagavatam, weil es ist nicht unterschiedlich von Krishna. Und wenn jemand liest Srimad Bhagavatam, das ist genau, wenn jemand eine Beziehung oder Gemeinschaft mit Krishna persönlich hat. Das ist schwer zu verstehen, weil Bhagavatam auch hat erzählt, dass die befreite Seele, die genießen Srimad Bhagavatam. Und da wir denken, das ist ein Buch, ich lese 10 Minuten und eine Stunde jeden Tag und dann er liest und was ist so, das ist gut, aber das ist, wir verstehen, dass wir sind begrenzt, ich bin begrenzt, nicht Krishna und nicht Krishna heilige Name oder nicht Bhagavatam oder Deities, wir sind begrenzt. Weil als Govinda Maharaj hat das ist von Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, dieser Anspruch, wir sind nicht die Beobachter, Krishna ist die Beobachter. Wir kommen Mangalarti, oh gut, ich mag die Blumen nicht da, gar nicht da, okay, diese Kleidung ist okay. Wir sind die Beobachter, wir gucken Krishna, aber Krishna eigentlich guckt zurück, aber Krishna beobachtet uns. Das müssen wir verstehen. I am not the seer, Krishna is the seer.
Das ist die eigentliche Bedeutung von Herrschern.
Ja, genau. Wir sind die Diener, wir sind die, wie sagen wir, subordinate, Untergebene. Wir sind die Untergebenen. Das wir müssen immer verstehen. Ich bin der Untergebene. Ich bin runter. Aber in unserer materiellen Entwicklung, wir denken, dass okay, jetzt, was ist das passiert? Und ich auch chante, ich lese und ich habe Darshan von Deities und was ist, zum Beispiel, wenn wir hören diese Geschichte von Bamshidas Babaji, der hat mit Deities gesprochen und eine Kuh ist rein in seinem Zelt gegangen und ein bisschen Schweinerei gemacht, Töpfe runtergeschmissen und dann Bamshidas ist gekommen und hat gesehen, diese Zelte, ich sagte, Nityananda, was hast du gemacht? Nityananda, das war eine Kuh. Nitai, heute du kriegst kein Mittagessen. Und dann er hat gekocht und es nur Caitanya gegeben, nicht an Nityananda. Das ist schwer zu verstehen.
Also nicht imitieren.
Genau, jetzt ist okay, jetzt ist nur Nityananda, weil Nityananda hat mich gestoßen mit dem Ellbogen und dann er kriegt kein, nein, das nicht imitieren, genau. Wir haben unsere Sadhana Bhakti, wir folgen strikt diese Linie Sadhana Bhakti und wenn wir an diese Ebene kommen, das ist eine andere Geschichte später. Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.